here we are back at it again. Hello folks, welcome back to another episode of Othercide Extras here at Gray Studios. And here we have the Synapses on our left, or should I say the variety of Synapses. And yes, we are going to be doing missions, or more specifically, 5 missions. Survival, Hunt, Penance, Rescue, and Ritual. The 5 type of missions, or synapses I should say, that you get throughout the campaign. So, we're going to be talking to each one, we're going to be playing each one, and we're going to be talking about what it is that they do. Now, that being said, we are going to start off with Hunt. Now, as you can see here, you have the Survival, the Hunt, the Rescue. They're all the same difficulty. And generally speaking, the higher the... well, not necessarily higher. As you see here, Rescue has more Vitality, less XP. Survival, it is the opposite. Go to Ritual though, oh, that's a different ball game entirely. And Penance here, well, Penance here just offers XP. And the Hunt generally just offers the lowest on both sides. But there is a reason to that, and we are going to see why.
And this is where you die.
Okay, so if you checked out any of my Othercide videos in my playlist there, feel free to check them out. But if you have not, then we're just going to get right into this mission with the Hunt. Now the Hunt, as you see here, we have a bunch of enemies, and then we have a number of enemies.
A bitter victory.
And the idea is simple. As you saw there, the number went down, and we are generally just supposed to try and hunt as many enemies down, or at least that's what it says on the number there, and take care of them per se. Of course, obviously, you know what I mean by that. Hunt, bash, slash, stab, shoot. Whatever gets the job done, basically. Oh, whoopsie, I forgot to place skills in Candid. Oh well. Candid's already pretty tough.
Shatter them.
Uh-oh.
Another terror to haunt us.
But then again, Candid is really armored.
Shatter them.
Alright, so as you see there, we are going to be seeing the last 2 enemies come out of their little hidey holes, and we are going to be dealing with them very shortly.
Now that wasn't nice.
Candid's a very new daughter, so she doesn't have any traits that make her strong, just as strong as her sisters. And just like that, we have completed the mission. So yeah, as you saw there, that was an easy mission to do. There's a finite amount of enemies, and not all of them show up right away. And all you have to do really is just exterminate them.
But we may soon live another.
So basically, that's why or hunts are basically the easiest type of mission. Obviously, the difficulties change from challenging, which is basically easy, to hard, which is the middle ground, and then impossible being the hardest. But now we're gonna get into the others. Now let's do survival. Now survival, this one is pretty self-explanatory. Survive. And basically, you just have to keep on hunting and killing monsters and make sure none of your daughters die to escape.
They found an ally in surprise.
And this is where you die.
Alright, so here we are now in survival. Now, as you can see, you have a countdown up north of there. And there is a reason for that. The countdown basically is supposed to symbolize initiative. See, went down by 4, started at 254, and now it's at 200. So what can we say about this? It's an initiative countdown. But generally more enemies start to pop up as the initiative starts to get lower and lower. So you still want to deal with them right away.
At last. But it brings me
I
no
love
pleasure.
that.
No mercy.
Oh dear.
Flesh is its canvas.
Alright, so yeah, as you saw there, enemies just keep popping out.
I revel in her strength.
But that is okay, because at the end of it all, it's a countdown.
Shred them down.
I, or should I say we, just have to use these abilities carefully.
At last. But it brings me no pleasure. A bitter victory.
Alright, and just like that, big white box ready. That is the cue to get out of here. And it's easy like that because they're really high level, so they got a lot of AP. And boom. Now, the idea with survival is that, yes, enemies will keep on pouring on, and attacking your daughters. However, that's not exactly true. There is a finite amount of nightmare creatures or corrupted daughters and whatnot that'll come in and attack. The portal point of which a portal opens is basically just to signify how big the waves get as they come along. So first you'll receive, the waves that you saw there at a pace, but then the moment the portal opens, you're probably getting triple that. And that's at a point where, if you're doing like early recollections or your daughters aren't as leveled as these two here, then yeah, it starts to get dicey. But if they are strong enough, then what you could do is you could farm those creatures and gain the extra XP. Up to you, but yeah, that's just generally how survival works. Alright, we've gone over survival. Now we're gonna deal with the one that's more common here, and that is not ritual, rescue. Now, rescue is unlike the other ones in that, rather than, hunting for creatures, It's similar to survival, except you are basically doing an escort mission or a rescue mission. And what you are trying to do is you are trying to basically grab a lost soul and rescue them, set them free, etc.
Welcome to your new home.
So yeah, as you can see on the rescue mission, I personally see them as more of the harder missions, just because one, you gotta defend the soul, and two, the enemies also come out in waves, but you gotta make it to a certain point, and that's usually across the other side of the map through all of this. Now I just hope Melody is the scythe dancer with the harvesting ability. It's not the So the idea here is basically to eliminate, as I said before, so that you clear a safe pathway for the bright soul. Because the bright soul is not the main target, but she's still a target. And if you use bright soul well correctly, you can actually have her help your daughters just by, you know, helping them buy time for any of the delay actions and whatnot. But that's a risky strategy. Alright, so Melody, my scythe dancer, she reached the point. She can technically leave, but if I do that right now, obviously that's one daughter less to deal with the creatures here.
Shred them down.
And as you see there, the spawn points for these rescue missions, what happens is if you take too long, they also start to increase. And not only do they increase, they also start to spawn in areas that are happening right now. And from there, you have a pincer maneuver, basically. Alright, so as you see here, all my daughters are on this side, they are on that side. It is a safe call to try and get out of here now. And I intend to do just that, because all the enemies are gone over there, but that doesn't mean that they won't chase. And it also doesn't mean that more enemies, like that, like here, like they're popping out. And not just any kind, too. Reapers, infected, in mass. It gets more chilling than it does in survival, because if you didn't clear any enemies out in front, then you're gonna be hurt. And unlike survival, all you need is one daughter to survive that mission, and you win. You lose that bright soul, you fail. But hey, I'm getting out while I can.
No mercy.
Had to do it. So, as you saw in the rescue there, we rescued a bright soul, everyone survived, and as you can see, it can get intense. More intense and more brutal than survival difficulty. Because, well, with the bright soul, you got to defend an extra soul. So it can get extra dicey. It's extra risky. And then afterwards, you can either free or sacrifice said soul. And when I was playing Nightmare difficulty, yeah, I had to keep sacrificing just to resurrect my daughters again and again and again. You could try the easier difficulty on Dream in my other videos, but yeah.
Together, you are stronger.
And I want to revive one of my daughters who has the, who is a lower level, because you do grow a little bit attached to them. Excuse me. Alright, back to where I am. Now we have 2 more missions. And here we have the hardest, I would say, of just game-wise, and you know, the mechanics of it is Ritual. And this, as you can see there, you have to basically destroy a certain enemy. And the consequences for that are real.
And this is where you die.
Alright, so what you have here, you have your daughters at a certain point, and yeah, you have the creatures out here again, etc, etc. But here we have the Lost Soul. Now, the Lost Soul does not have any kind of category whatsoever here. And the ability called Salvation, or at least I believe it's called Salvation, is a timed ability that is very, very, very long, but if it reaches the countdown, it sets off, and all your daughters die. And I mean literally, like, because the damage output is in the 6 digits. So, basically, time is not on your side. So you gotta fight through to get to a target. And basically, it's an assassination mission. There you go, Salvation. With a very creepy smile. As you see, I'm starting to damage the Lost Soul because I have cleared out a majority of the enemies here. Keep in mind though that, a ritual mission is similar to the other missions like Survival and Rescue in that enemies will, they're continually just keep on going. And these Lost Souls don't fit into any kind of category. No Nightmare Creature category, no Corrupt Daughter category, no Cultist category. So basically, you won't be able to get any kind of damage boosts from attacking them. Best you can do is just keep laying down a hurt when you can.
Will the poor one's suffering never end?
We got more of them coming now, but it's already too late. So yeah, that seemed easy, but with Ritual, you have to complete basically an assassination on the Lost Soul. Otherwise, the Lost Soul will basically go nuclear and destroy all your daughters. And as I said before, the damage is in the 6 digits, so it doesn't matter how well armored you are, you will lose them. So I guess you could say it is a mix between a hunt and survival, and enemies will just keep on appearing, and if you want, you can farm for that, but that's a very, very, very bold move, if you ask me. Alright, last but not least is Penance. Now, the thing with Penance is it's very rare to find. It honestly is. As I was playing the campaigns during my videos, I actually never really encountered any kind of Penance missions before. And if I did, then, you know, maybe it was a 1, and you know, they're just so rare. They're really rare. So, no crystals, no vitality, but the XP boost is huge nonetheless. And yeah, as it says there, kill enemies to fill the daughter's gauges, which is why I wanted to save these ones for this mission.
We delve deep into the dark corners.
Alright, so as you see here, we got the 3 daughters on top there. We have a variety of enemies set up. We got plague prophets, we got curse witches. Now this one is unique compared to the rest of them. This one, you have to hunt creatures. And depending on how many creatures, raises your bar. But not just how many creatures you hunt. It's the type of creatures as well. So let's say Victoria here. Let's say she hunts all of them.
Striking.
All of them except the Reaper have basically been annihilated. Alright, so as you see here, we have this big Reaper here.
I cared for them. Don't. Memories hurt.
Joy got the finishing blow on the Reaper, but if Victoria was still around, she would have gotten some points for dealing a ton of damage to it. And as you can see here, the Reaper being the big creature filled up the bar over halfway. So the idea is simple. Hunt down creatures of each daughter until the bar is raised. After that, the daughters start to retreat. You gotta be careful with this one though, because if you fill the bars too much on some daughters, you will be left alone. And that means they'll be vulnerable. Like a big wave, per
The
se.
veil grows weaker. His power stronger.
And while that may seem like a good idea,
can't
yeah,
stop
wave of
them.
monsters,
No one can.
it's basically feeding. It's self-feeding. And in a way, you're right. But in a way, it's also kind of bad.
I cared for them.
Now see, Harmony got the full damage output of that one, but that was one of the curse witches. A curse witch compared to a Reaper. Very, very different outputs. And the Reaper was damaged too. And that is a funny
It will
glitch.
reap what suffering has sown. Exquisite.
Alright, Joy is very close.
Flawless.
Now, a lot of enemies don't have to peer, and a lot of them don't have to swarm, because only a certain amount need to be destroyed by your daughters to advance to, you know, the safe zone. And with that being said, if your daughters do complete this and they survive, they will gain that huge XP boost that you saw. Not so much on dealing damage to creatures, but enough for the initial to basically be a huge level up.
Now that wasn't nice.
So yeah, as you can see there, the XP boost to all the daughters was huge. That's the kind of amount that you would see in, you know, maybe the fights with the creatures as you're traveling to defeat suffering. And now they're all sleepy, and now they're all tired.
Ready or not, here I come.
Alright, so that being said, folks, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, helps me out a lot. Don't forget to share, check out my Twitch channel, The Grey Cog, and as always, have a happy day. Bye bye, folks, and sweet nightmares. Because we just discussed the 5 ways of beating each one.